Adnan Sami was not an oppressor, so we gave him citizenship. He was a Muslim.
In Pakistan, during partition, like in 1947-50s, the data says that the population of Hindus was around 20%, and now the population has been dropped to less than 2%.
The act is only applicable to those facing religious persecution who are already in India on 31st of December 2014. If you come on 1st January 2015 and you are facing the same religious persecution, you are to be kicked out. Within all our laws, there is no provision to take away citizenship. If you are a secular country or you pose as a secular country, even though you may be discriminating, there is a process by which you can get a redressal. That is through courts, through some procedure. Okay. But when you declare yourself as an Islamic country, there is no process for redressal of persecution of minorities because the Islamic law is even worse for minorities.
Hello and welcome to Loktantra Chats. I am Prasanna Naidu, a lawyer turned content creator. And joining me is Rahul Deodhar, who is a practicing lawyer in the Bombay High Court, an author and an active investor as well. So for a few days, for past few days, there's a lot of buzz going around Citizenship Amendment Act, which was passed in 2019 itself. Now the rules for that act were brought up. So for those who don't know about this, after a law is passed in our parliament, rules are drafted for that law, which usually consists of the procedure and the related process of how that law will be implemented. Right, Adi?
Yes. So in the 2019 Act is an amendment act. So it is not a main act. So what it does is it just amends the 1955 Indian Citizenship Act.
Yeah, so basically it changes something in that original act.
In that act, yes. So this is not the main act. This is just an amendment. And the amendment is on two grounds. Okay, very simple things are introduced. One, that certain minorities from three different countries, Afghanistan, Pakistan, and Bangladesh, who are already in India before 2014. Okay, not 2019. The date of the act is passed 2019. Who are already in India before 2014. They have been given a special privilege to apply for citizenship. So it is like a fast track citizenship. They have given a separate line to apply for citizenship in. Now, this is the first part of the modification. The second part is that government has to set up some authority to verify their claims that they are minority. Of course, they are facing religious persecution, of course, and then that they are, in India before 2014. And then after validating all this, government can give them they can make them citizens. Okay. That's it. There is a third part of it, which is very minor, which says that overseas citizens of India, okay, which is not, it's not citizens, but they are citizens of other countries, but they have a, visa. That visa may be cancelled if the other person who is a citizen of other country is involved in some anti-national or anti-India activities. That's the third part. Only three parts are there.
Yeah. So the third part is mainly concerned for national security.
Yeah.
Right. And from what you said, if any person who has faced religious persecution, even if he or she comes now, they won't get any privilege under this act.
No, exactly. Very pertinent point you've pointed out. The act is only applicable to those facing religious persecution who are already in India on 31st of December 2014. If you come on 1st January 2015 and you are facing the same religious persecution, you are to be kicked out.
Okay. Because there are many politicians who are saying that unemployment rate will grow up because so many people will come from other countries now and etc. So they haven't read the act. or they are purposely putting out such statements thinking that people haven't read the act or don't know about the act?
Exactly. See, this is applicable only to 31,000 or around that number. Those are the only people affected, not one more. If you want one more, they have to pass another act.
Okay.
Citizenship Amendment Act 2024 or 25, and then you will get another perspective on it.
Okay. So now let's move on to the very important myth, which is that this law is anti-Muslim, and this after this law has been passed, NRC will be implemented, where all the Muslims will be filtered out and kicked out of the country. Like, how much of this is true?
See, first of all, within the country, within all our laws, there is no provision to take away citizenship. Okay.
Right.
So suppose you are a citizen of India and you are found to do, you are a terrorist. All they can do is put you in jail. They cannot take away your citizenship. So taking away citizenship is it's a very cumbersome, it's not it's not a simple process. So taking away citizenship is out of the question. Now the question comes whether a person is a citizen or not to determine that.
Okay.
And that is the question that many of these people who are illegal who have gained illegal entry into India, you have to find out whether they are actually people who are belonging to India or they are illegal entrants into India. That is the only thing that is to be done. Okay. So Citizenship Amendment Act has no business at all in this aspect. But even when NRC comes, NRC will be a registry of citizens after you have verified that they are citizens. So how can that be any different from whatever? If your name is appearing in the voter list, you're already a citizen. If you have a ration card, if you have a Aadhaar card, if you have some of these, Aadhaar card is not a proof of citizenship, by the way. Another myth that is being here, if you have Aadhaar card, you're a citizen. No, Aadhaar card is proof of residency. It's not a proof of citizenship. So anyone can be issued an Aadhaar card. But citizenship card, that is voter ID, can be issued, passport can be issued only to the citizen of India. And for that, you have to establish that you're a citizen. That is the process of NRC. It is not even come up as of now. There is no clarity as to what are all the nitty-gritties, the process. There are so many things from NRC of Assam. We can say there are at least 20 ways you can prove your citizenship, if not more. So it's a long process. There's a whole thing. It's a separate issue altogether. So Citizenship Amendment Act cannot be against Muslims. Citizenship Amendment Act is against those people who are oppressing minorities in these three countries, who have oppressed minorities before 2014. Okay, 31st December 2014. They are not allowed to get citizenship in India. And anyways, if you are, let's say, if tomorrow Hitler applies to be a citizen of India, we are not going to give him a citizenship in India. Okay.
Right.
So it is a separate debate altogether. So any oppressor, any culprit, any anti or sort of criminal element of any other country, we don't want to take him into India as a citizen. So this is a basic premise. Now, these people who have persecuted the minorities include Muslims. Okay, that doesn't mean Muslims will not get citizenship. Muslims will get a citizenship if they apply in the regular process.
Yeah, if they come legally.
So, yes. So there is a difference in what Citizenship Amendment Act and why Citizenship Amendment Act is required. There's a provision in Indian Citizenship Act 1955. If you illegally enter India, you will never be given citizenship of India. You are barred. You cannot be given. Okay. Now, most of the persons who are fleeing persecution will not worry about being legal or illegal. Okay. Because they are facing their life.
They don't have a chance.
So they have entered. Yeah. Okay. So these 31,000 people they have entered India and they are considered to be illegal. So now there is a bar to give them citizenship. Now this bar has been created by the parliament, so it can be removed only by the parliament. That's why that act is required to eliminate this bar, saying ki, okay, these 31,000 we are allowing because they are, they are fleeing religious persecution. Otherwise, all illegal migrants, even if you come to India on visa, let's say for 6 months, and you end
Hmm.
up staying 2 years
Hmm.
without extending your visa, you will
Hmm.
never be given citizenship because you are illegal immigrant to India.
Okay.
Unless
Okay.
a law is passed in parliament saying ki give Prasanna Naidu the citizenship, even if he is illegal immigrant and he has overstayed his visa after 1 year. For 1 year he has overstayed his visa, but still give him. That has to be an act of parliament. You can imagine the kind of rigor that is being posed on grant of citizenship.
Hmm.
Now, in the case of NRC, if you are illegal immigrant, so if you are Bangladeshi who has crossed into India illegally and tried to get all the cards, you will never be given because it is not allowed in Indian law to give you a citizenship because you have illegally entered India.
Okay. Okay. So
Now, if you
one
have
thing is
legally
very,
entered,
yeah. So one thing is
yeah,
very clear that if you enter this country, India, legally, anyone who belongs to any religion or race or whatever can be given citizenship. There is a following like process. There are certain eligibility.
yes,
So what is that? Who can
yes.
apply for citizenship and can get it in India?
So, citizenship, you can get Indian citizenship there are 6 ways of
Hmm.
getting Indian citizenship.
Hmm.
So one is at the time of partition, whoever was the citizen of India in the geographical domain, he gets the
Yes.
citizenship.
Hmm.
Second is if you, if let's say Nepal wants to join with India, then citizens of Nepal will become citizens of India. It's called by
Territory.
assimilation of territory.
Hmm.
Okay. Then there are four important parts. One is by birth. You are born in India, you become citizen of India.
Hmm.
Then there is by descent. Your father or mother or both were parents were citizens of India, so you get citizen of India. Then by registration. So you register to be a citizen of India. Ki I'm conforming to certain uh, qualifying criteria. I will be a citizen of India. And the fourth is by naturalization, which is where everyone else who is not a citizen of India, who is citizen of some other country, can come in and apply under this category, citizenship by naturalization.
Hmm. Okay.
Adnan Sami fits in this case.
Hmm.
He
Okay.
became a citizen by naturalization.
Okay. Okay. So for all those people who have come into this country legally, they have this eligibility. If they fit into this, they can apply for citizenship, and the government of India may give them the citizenship if they fulfill the criteria and all. Okay. Uh,
Yes, yes,
Now let's come to the illegal immigrants, like those people who have entered this country illegally. Now this
yes.
act says that those people who have come into this country illegally can become a citizenship if citizen can get citizenship only if they are Hindus, okay, or Sikh,
Okay,
Jains, or
okay.
Christians,
Let me rephrase. The
right?
act says those who are illegal immigrants will not get citizenship.
Okay, okay.
Okay,
Hmm.
that's the position of the act.
Hmm.
Now, this Amendment Act
Hmm.
gives an exception to this rule. This is the rule.
Okay, right.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay. So this is the rule. What is the rule? Rule is that if you are illegal immigrant, no citizenship for you.
Hmm.
You may be Hitler. You may be uh, Bill Clinton. If you are
Hmm.
illegally here, you are not going to get citizenship.
Hmm.
Okay. Now the question is, ki there are illegal immigrants in this country, 31,000 of them,
Hmm.
who are here because they are afraid of their life in these three countries. Okay.
Hmm.
They cannot be citizens. So where
Hmm.
will they go?
Right.
Okay.
No, but
So
the
what happens
exception
is,
is only for certain communities. So why is the question?
yes, because every grant of citizen will be an act of parliament. So if you want to give citizenship to the, let's say, the Hindu Tamils of Sri Lanka
Hmm.
who are in India, okay,
Hmm. Hmm.
then there will be another act of parliament, which will give them citizenship.
Yeah,
Okay.
that I got.
That
But
will
why
take into
are these people
consideration
considered? Why only these people are considered and not other communities?
because they are there in India.
Yeah, and they faced religious persecution.
31,000 were looked at. Okay. So
Hmm.
these 31,000 were looked at. They found that there are majority are Hindus, then there are some Sikhs, Jains, one or two Parsis are also there. So
Hmm.
they found that this is a group, okay, which is there.
Hmm.
So they said, okay, so this seems to be, all non-Muslims are being persecuted and they are here.
Hmm.
So what to do? So they have created an act which says that Hindus, Muslims, not Hindus, Sikhs, Jains,
Hmm.
whatever, Parsis, they will be given citizenship, Christians also. So they will be, who are fleeing that place and they are in India, they will be given citizenship. And this uh, activity is sort of, it is honoring the promise of Mahatma Gandhi.
Okay.
So when during partition,
Hmm.
see, partition happened, the boundaries were decided in 14 days.
Right.
India will be this much, Pakistan will be this much, this part will be India, this part will be Pakistan. 14 days, the whole country was divided.
Hmm.
Okay.
Hmm.
So, without application of mind, if I may add. Okay.
Hmm.
So people became confused. There was suddenly a threat to their property, life, everything. So there was a pact between Gandhi and Jinnah, or Nehru and Jinnah, and Gandhi had given it. So that whoever is in our country, they will be protected. There is no, you will protect your minorities, I will protect my minorities. This was
Hmm.
the pact. And Gandhi always said to these people, don't worry, you will always have a home in India. Okay.
Okay.
Considering this assurance, they stayed back.
Hmm.
Okay. So now they have come here.
Hmm. But let me add here that this
Hmm.
was accepted on both sides, that they will
Hmm.
protect their minorities. But in in Pakistan, during partition, like in 1947 50s, the data says that the population of Hindus was around 20%, and now the population has been dropped to less than 2%. So where
Yeah.
these Hindus went, like where did they vanish?
So, like every month, about
Hmm.
100 Hindu girls are being kidnapped and converted by marrying into another Muslim fellow. So this is called forced conversion. Then they are
Okay.
being killed.
Hmm.
They are blasphemy. There was a Christian, senior person, old person. I mean, old. He was the he was accused of blasphemy by throwing Quran and some torn pages of Quran, and then he was lynched. So these kinds of things are done to minorities. One of the Parsi gentlemen who was there, he was connected to the government and people in power, but
Hmm.
his daughter only was harassed. So
Hmm.
he fled to Iran and then he fled to US or something. So these are kinds of very horrific stories that are there in Pakistan. These
Okay.
are, some of them are old stories, some of them are new stories, because from 20% to 1% is a long journey.
Journey.
It took a very long time. Yeah.
Right. So that's why it is necessary for those people who have fled from such countries where they have faced so many things. We can't even, like, we are covering like 0.01% of these stories. So we can't even imagine what happens there, how they have been discriminated. And that's why they have fled from those countries and come here. And that's why the basic citizenship right must be given to them, is what, like, considering the historical perspective, what was promised to them during the partition. Now many people say that there are Muslims, like the Ahmadiyya Muslims, who are also discriminated in such countries, Islamic countries, which we have mentioned in the Citizenship Amendment Act, but they are not given citizenship under the Amendment Act. So why is that so?
So the question you have to, the touchstone of discrimination is this: when you are interfering in a fight, there is a
Hmm.
perpetrator group and there is a victim group.
Right.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay. If you are showing mercy to the victims, you can't
Hmm.
take the perpetrator along with them here.
Hmm.
Okay.
Hmm.
So all the minorities of Pakistan,
Hmm.
Ahmadiyas, whatever, Shia, Sunnis, everyone were persecuting these religions.
Okay.
Okay.
Hmm. The
So it is like
Hindus,
different factions
Jains,
of
Sikhs.
Nazis, and
Hmm.
these are the Jews of Pakistan. Okay, persecuted,
Okay.
tormented. So if you take Jews and you take some Nazis, that's not the right way to alleviate religious persecution.
Hmm.
Okay,
Hmm.
so you are taking the persecuted group. You are not taking the persecutor group or oppressor group. The oppressor
Hmm.
group has to be denied citizenship. And of course, within the oppressor group, there are 100 people who qualify in that oppressor group. Suppose there are 20 who are very good people. They can
Hmm.
apply in the regular line.
Hmm. Hmm.
Adnan Sami was not an oppressor. So we gave him citizenship. He was a Muslim. So he's
Right.
technically in that oppressor group, but he's a
Hmm.
good fellow. I mean,
Hmm.
that's what we have researched.
Hmm.
He came in legally. He said,
Hmm.
can I become citizen of India? We said, okay, you are a good person. You did not oppress these minorities. We'll give you citizenship. This is
Hmm.
in this line. In the fast track, so it is like a wheelchair line. Okay. The person who is not in wheelchair cannot be in this line. Simple. He can be in another line. We are not refusing.
Right. Also, you also raised a legal point in your blog post, like where you say that in these countries which we are considering, like Pakistan, Afghanistan, and Bangladesh, so these countries are declared, they have declared themselves as Islamic states. Okay. And
Correct.
there has been evidence where open discrimination goes on against non-Muslim people staying there, living there, and they are treated as second-grade citizens, right?
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
Ahmadiyas and all are Muslims. They are not treated as second-grade citizens there. So, by a legal point of view, India has a kind of like they have a backing here that they can make a law on this point for the non-Muslims who have been persecuted there. As Ahmadiyas are Muslims there, and that state, that country is an Islamic state. So they say that Muslims are like above and other. So Ahmadiyas are Muslims. So they are from a legal point of
Ahmadiyas
the.
are not Muslims. In
Oh,
Pakistan doesn't consider Ahmadiyas as Muslims.
okay,
So
okay.
there is another sectarian issue there. But
Hmm.
see, you are right. The reason why this matters, see, there is a reason why they are being legally declared as Islamic Republic. That is a differentiating factor, because if you are a secular country, okay, or you pose as a secular country,
Hmm.
even though you may be discriminating, there is a process by which you can get a redressal, that is through courts, through some procedure. Okay. But
Hmm.
when you declare yourself as an Islamic country, there is no process for redressal of persecution of minorities, because the Islamic law is, the law of Pakistan is much better than the Islamic law while treating minorities.
Hmm.
So the Islamic law is even worse for minorities. So in that sense, there is no recourse for these people. If they were secular, they could have a Supreme Court or a court system or police system, which is a secular institution, and they could have gotten, they should be. I mean, we cannot go and find out whether they are actually getting justice or not. That is
Of
their
course.
internal matter. But at
Hmm.
least they have a choice. They have a pathway. When you declare yourself as an Islamic Republic, you don't give them pathway only. So then it becomes a challenge. And that is where their declared Islamic status becomes very critical for us to give them citizenship.
Hmm. Yeah. Right. Got it.
The question of Ahmadiyas is a little different. Okay.
Hmm.
Because Ahmadiyas were the initiators of partition. Okay.
Hmm. Hmm.
So Ahmadiyya issue is like ki we will welcome Ahmadiyyas if they are good.
Hmm.
They can still apply through the normal route. Nothing stops them from applying from the normal route. Okay.
Right. Hmm.
They are allowed in the like citizenship and naturalization. They can apply. They can stay in India. They can fill up the process. I mean, fulfill the process requirements, and they'll be given citizenship if we find
Hmm.
that they are okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
So it is not denied.
Hmm.
Okay, but they have to come legally. You can't come illegally and demand, you have taken
Hmm.
the land. So it is like this. Okay, suppose we are a family. We have
Hmm.
10 houses.
Hmm.
Okay. So Muslims and Ahmadiyyas and Hindus and Christian, everyone is brothers. Okay.
Hmm.
Or
Hmm.
family members. Now we
Hmm.
decided to split this.
Hmm.
So Muslims, Ahmadiyyas wanted a separate house.
Hmm.
Okay. So we gave them 3 houses. 7 are with us.
Hmm.
Now, within that 3 houses, there is a fight. Okay. And now they want to come and take another house from us. Like, no, you have given them, you bring that house and you come. So if
Right.
Ahmadiyyas come with some property, with some
Uh,
land, let's say they come with half of Punjab, welcome.
yeah. Right.
Join us. We have no problem. So
Hmm.
then they will come under
Yeah.
that
The Pakistan
assimilation
side
of
of Punjab,
territory.
you are saying.
Yeah, yeah.
Huh.
Pakistan side of Punjab or,
Hmm.
you know, other
Sindh.
parts of Pakistan, they can
Hmm.
come, they can carve out and they
Hmm.
say ki we will join with India under assimilation of territory. Ahmadiyyas, we are citizen of this place. Come. Baluchistan wants to join, we will be under this assimilation of territory, we will grant them.
Right. So here you
Not
also
illegally.
raise a point about the resources part, like what you were saying. If the land also comes with the people, then we may think of taking them in, because we
Hmm.
have limited resources. We already have a lot of
Exactly.
population, which is growing day
Exactly.
by day. So we can't grant citizenship to anyone, any Tom and Dick and Harry who comes into a citizenship, especially illegally.
Exactly. This is the whole gist of the problem. First of all, you we have limited resources. You
Hmm.
are an encroacher in our house. Okay.
Hmm.
We have not even invited you in.
Right.
And you want to be a member of our house. ये कौन सी जोर जबरदस्ती है? We are not allowed.
Right. Also, I saw some news articles where people have wrote that non-Muslims have given are being given citizenship. So it's not like non-Muslims. There are certain communities who are persecuted religiously, who have faced religious persecution. We are not giving citizenship to Jews, okay, because they didn't
That is
face
what, see, if
religious
you see,
persecution.
the thing is, you can classify it different ways. Okay. Suppose all these people have black hair. See, black hair people are given citizenship.
Hmm.
You can classify it that way also.
Right.
Suppose imagine, out of this 31,000, let's say, imagine all were women and children.
Hmm.
Okay.
Hmm.
Imagine, okay. Then you say
Hmm.
only women and children have been given citizenship. Well, you can classify it different ways. That doesn't change. The test is where they persecuted, and in that persecuted group, if you feature, you are given citizenship, and you are see, you can be in persecuted group.
Hmm.
Let's say you are a Hindu, Pakistani origin Hindu,
Hmm.
okay, like Danish
Hmm.
Kanaria, but
Hmm.
you have been living in Dubai for all your life.
Hmm.
Okay. Now
Hmm.
suddenly you illegally come into India. Will you be
Hmm.
given citizenship? No. That's the
Hmm.
answer. Because
Hmm.
CAA says that you have to be fleeing persecution, you have to be before 2014, all this test. Where are you fleeing persecution? No, I was in Dubai. So you fail that test. So even if he's a Hindu, because he's Pakistani, he's not fleeing religious persecution.
Right.
Okay. So
Hmm.
he will not be given citizenship because he is in Dubai.
Right.
Now he will come to India through on a visa. He will stay for 10 years. He will fulfill the conditions. He'll say, "Ki, now make me a citizen." He will be given citizenship. I mean, again, based on after verifying whether he is good person or not.
Yeah. It's not a national security threat and
It's
all,
not
etc. etc.
straightforward. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All things will be considered and then we'll verify whether we should give him. And that is why that verification also requires, that is why the rules. You have to
Right.
verify, right? These persons
Right.
are some Rohingyas will join in them. We are from
Hmm.
Pakistan. From
Hmm.
illegally from Bangladesh, we went to Pakistan, and from Pakistan, we persecuted. We have changed to Hinduism in the middle because Rohingyas claim that they are whoever, okay, or Buddhist,
Yeah.
okay. So then they are just saying, boss, you are from Bangladesh. You cannot be treated as citizen of India. Go back. Or Burma,
Hmm.
okay, Myanmar. You go back where you came from, like that. So you have to validate. It's not like, see, tomorrow any Tom, Dick and Harry will come and stand saying, I am persecuted. I crossed the border from this
I
part of
came from
Rajasthan.
Ukraine.
Yeah, that is a separate, yeah, there will be another group. But
Hmm.
so you will have to verify whatever the government cannot, and that is the procedure. That is the tribunal will be set up. They will be accepting forms. They will be accepting details. Ki who is the passport? You have to, find out ki, birth certificate or school living certificate. Ki, okay, he was resident of this part. Then he came. All these things have to be verified.
Right.
Now you can imagine there is a birth certificate, you can produce some birth certificate, random birth certificate from Pakistan. How will Indian person verify whether this is true birth certificate or not? So
Hmm.
there has to be process. That is why you need all this machinery. Otherwise, you can just show a birth certificate and get away with it.
Hmm. 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 Hmm.
Pakistanis will issue birth certificate in, by just taking 5,000 rupees, they will issue birth certificates. He was born in 1950s, 1960s, anything.
Yeah, right, right. So that's it for this episode. Hope you like this episode because we have covered only most of the main points about CA, the Amendment Act of the Citizenship, which is in the news from a few days. If you got some value out of this episode, if you like the simple explanation of the law and the rules, then do share this episode with your friends and family because this is a very important act, especially for those people who have faced religious persecution and need this citizenship of India so that they can live a better life. So do share this episode with all those people you think need this information, must know the truth. Okay, thank you so much. Bye bye.
Thank you.